Budget 2023 was recently announced, and here are some of the highlights and what I honestly think about it. Let's begin with the area of tax. When it comes to this area, many people are saying that this budget is kind of like a Robin Hood budget. Can you imagine DSAI as Robin Hood? Well, maybe it can't look like that. Nonetheless, the whole idea here is to tax the rich and help the poor. Let's start with the area of personal tax. As we can see, those that are earning below 100,000 are gonna enjoy a tax reduction. But those who earn above 100,000 are gonna have a little bit of increase in terms of income tax rates. This will greatly benefit those who are in the M40 category because your income is not too high, not too low, and it can lead up to a saving of about 1,300. Other than the personal tax part, he also introduced other tax such as the luxury tax, vape tax, and also the possibility of introducing the capital gain tax for sale of private share in 2024. One more thing, he also added the fact that Bursa will be sharing 30% of their profit from import rice to paddy farmers. Isn't that just like Robin Hood, taxing the rich and helping the poor? This announcement comes with mixed reaction, but nonetheless, here is what I think. Personally, I think taxing the rich to help the poor is actually kind of a good thing. When you're earning more, yeah, you should be giving a little bit more by percentage as well. But nonetheless, there could be a problem here. When those large corporations and richer people get taxed more, and they will likely transfer this cost to their businesses, and their businesses will increase the price of the product, in the end causing an inflation, and therefore people who are gonna buy the products are gonna have more inflation, so it will still transfer the cost down. It's good to tax the rich, but I think more importantly is to have a tighter measure of implementation so that this inflation will not happen and ultimately increasing the burden of rakyat. DSAI also gave an option for the rich to be able to reduce their tax. Yeah, so if you're one of those T20s who will get heavily taxed, here are some of the things that you can consider to reduce your tax bracket, which is by donating your money for charitable causes. First, they are going to establish charitable hospitals. If you donate your money to these charitable hospitals, you can have a tax deduction of up to 10% from your aggregate income. Number two, you can also donate to NGOs that are actually organizing and implementing sports program at the grassroots level. So if you're very rich and you need some tax deduction, your solution? Donate money. Aside from being a Robin Hood, the next thing that he focused on is on the area of tightening up the belt in terms of government operation. Now, we know that in our government there are many leakages, right? Such as cases where they bought a printer that is worth 500 ringgit for 5,000 ringgit, you know, this kind of stuff, right? Just by reducing such leakages, government will be able to save up a lot of money and focus on the development of the nation. So I think it's a very good thing that he introduced measures to make this happen. And the first effort that he introduced is about encouraging transparency in government procurement, such as enacting the Government Procurement Act and also amending the Whistleblower Protection Act. Hopefully with this, we'll be able to combat corruption better in the future. Besides that, he also said that they will be reviewing some existing projects and also re-tendering some of the existing projects. For example, when we talk about the MRT3 project, they will be reducing the cost to 45 billion ringgit. So that's a saving of 5 billion ringgit from the original estimated cost from last year. Then they will also be re-tendering the flood mitigation projects, and hopefully that will come up to a saving of about 2 to 3 billion ringgit. The next thing that he's doing to save money is, instead of building that originally proposed Kulim Airport, they are gonna get MAHB to actually upgrade the Subang Airport and also Penang Airport instead. Then you can improve the economy and improve all these things without spending 7 billion ringgit. I think these are great things because we are known as a government that is pretty corrupted in the global index, and these are all little measures that makes up to improving our governance in this nation and hopefully tightening all these leakages and saving the government money and using this money to focus on areas that they are more important in developing the people and so on, right? The next thing that they focus on in this budget is in the area of helping people to earn more money. First thing, they are looking at TVET. And this one, I really like what he has introduced, which is that he's gonna get big corporation and GLC to fully manage federal TVET institutions. This is very good because when this kind of big corporation are gonna manage this TVET, they are gonna provide them training that is suitable for the skills that they lack in their company. This means that the training that they're gonna receive is really in areas that are in need for the company. So it is easy for those companies to hire these students who graduate from TVET as well. Therefore, providing job opportunities for TVET students. The next thing is in the industry of palm oil. He mentioned that for Sime Darby, they said that locals are willing to work in oil palm industry if their minimum salary is going to be 3,000 ringgit. That's a lot of money for someone who's going to be working in the oil palm industry, right? How can they do it is by introducing automation. Because currently in Malaysian oil palm estate, most of the work are actually manual labor and they can't be paid much because of that, because the value is quite low. So the way to solve this is by introducing automation into the palm oil estates. So with that, government decide to give a matching grant for automation in palm oil estate, and hopefully as more of this automation happen, then they are able to save up the money and focus on higher skilled job opportunities that they can pay 3,000 ringgit to locals as well. The next group of people that Budget 2023 is trying to help to earn more are women. They are definitely encouraging women to go back to the workforce. One of the measures to encourage women going back to work is by introducing tax incentives for families to send their children to childcare. In the previous budget, they also encourage corporations to set up childcare facility in the office so that they can encourage women to go back to work. However, DSAI said that there wasn't much good response among corporations, so they may actually mandate corporates to provide childcare facility in offices. And I think that is a very, very good idea. Imagine your office give you subsidized childcare. Mothers will be able to bring their child to work and leave them in the office provided childcare and maybe half subsidized by your company as well. I think that's a great thing, right? Don't you think so? The next group of people will be the youths, and we can see that in order to help youths to earn more money, they are encouraging youths to go into the gig economy. This is very obvious because government is going to pay the fees for B2 license, whether it's for motorcycle, taxi, and so on, so that they can go into e-hailing. Well, thank you, Grab. Although so far what was introduced seemed to be pretty good, but my personal thought is these are just short-term measures. There needs to be more long-term and sustainable measures to help Malaysians generate better income, such as introducing higher value industry into the country. And what are some important industrial development blueprints that can encourage companies to pay more to the people by increasing their value in the market, and getting companies to provide higher value employment to the rakyat so that they can get paid better. Well, although joining the e-hailing industry does help to increase your household income in a very short period of time, but personally I don't think it is sustainable because it doesn't really improve your skill set. So you know, I was expecting DSII to talk more about how to develop high-value industries in Malaysia in this Budget 2023 tabling. Unfortunately, there wasn't too much of a mention of it. Nonetheless, he did put in an Easter egg there, which is in the third quarter of this year, he will be announcing more solid plans for the new Industrial Master Plan 2023. So I'm pretty excited to wait until this third quarter to hear what is he gonna do to bring in all these higher value industries into Malaysia and ultimately increasing the salary of our rakyat. When we talk about Budget 2023, the highest allocation for this year is, as usual, the Ministry of Education. As usual, a big chunk of the money is used to improve the infrastructures of schools. But this time they mentioned this one thing. They are gonna give 50,000 laptops to school. I'm kinda happy, at least it is something specific about digitalizing schools. However, I did wish that they talk more about allocating money for retraining of teachers, studying of syllabus to improve our syllabus, because we know ultimately even if you give them laptop, improve school facilities, but currently we have a problem. Malaysian school syllabus is a little bit can be greatly improved. So I do wish that they can allocate some budget for this. The last thing I want to mention here is on the area of green tech. It seems that government is really encouraging the people to adopt EV. So for those of you who are thinking about getting an EV, it is still a very good time for you because there's gonna be exemption of excise duty and import duty still. So buying an EV vehicle is still gonna be cheap during this period of time. And government also allocated quite some funds to actually install charging facility in 70 key areas. So it looks like the EV industry is gonna experience quite a boom in Malaysia. All in all, here's what I truly think about this year's budget. Firstly, he was very honest, telling us exactly where the nation is at without beautifying much and giving us the cold hard facts. That is a good thing. Many people say that this budget, there's nothing much exciting about it, so it's kind of boring, but I think that it's a budget that truly focuses on what are some of the steps that we need to do in order to help the country develop further and improve. Now, are there things that this budget can do better? Yes, definitely. Such as the education part. I always wish that they will actually do more in terms of improving syllabus, Please do it next time. Nonetheless, I also understand that this government is a unity government. Therefore, as a leader of a government, there are many things that he needs to take care of. He can't make changes so abruptly and so quickly because it may end up ruffling too many feathers. So taking a slow and steady approach could be the best approach for now. So that's what I think. What about you? What do you like about this budget 2023 and what do you not like about it? Tell us in the comments below.